Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jürgen Stackmann.
Thank you very much and welcome, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear automobile enthusiasts, dear friends of Volkswagen and dear customers who are joining us today. On behalf of Volkswagen brand, I would really like to welcome you here in the drive in Berlin. I would also like to welcome those of you who are following us on the live event, the live stream here in the camera. Welcome, and I hope you will have a fantastic time with us today. I've spent my entire career in automotive, more than 30 years, and I tell you there have been very few events in these 30 years that I've been looking forward to so much as today. We are starting a new chapter for us, and we hope we can start a new chapter for this industry. It's a very special day for Volkswagen and the team of Volkswagen. We are opening a new chapter in our company's history for you and for our customers. Ranges were too short, charging times too long. Vehicles were simply too expensive and sometimes boring. These were the key reasons why many of our customers who have a genuine positive attitude towards electromobility have decided not to purchase an electric car. However, you can't is now a thing of the past. Volkswagen is embarking today on a new era together with you and together with our customers. Now you can. Today we are starting the pan-European pre-booking scheme for the new ID family and the new ID. Today the future of e-mobility at Volkswagen will become clear and also become tangible for all of you and all of our customers. This day is a major milestone along the course which Volkswagen has set a few years ago by making consistent decisions in a fundamental change into our own system. The world is currently in the process of transformation, and all of us in this room are part of this transformation. We feel it in our daily lives. Volkswagen is as well part of this change, but we are also shaping this change. We are driving this change, and we want to be driving this change in the coming years. We are clearly committed to the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement. Highly unusual for a company, usually only countries commit to these goals. With a view to creating a virtually climate neutral society by 2050, in about 30 years from today. For us, Volkswagen, this means a virtually climate neutral mobility footprint. And we clearly don't have a CO2 neutral footprint today, but we are aiming at getting there in the time of the Paris Agreement. We owe this to our children. I do owe it to my children and the next generation of my family and all of yours. And we owe it to our customers who want to feel well in actually being mobile and leaving no footprint for the world. In this context, we are pursuing a focused powertrain strategy. We have laid our cars. Volkswagen has opted consistently for battery electric drive system as our solution for the years to come. This is currently the most efficient technology for reducing CO2 emissions now and today, and meeting the ambitious CO2 reduction targets that were set by our governments for our industry in our mobility in Europe, in the United States, in China, basically in all big major mobility systems around the world. This technology can be implemented most rapidly by the industry on a large scale. That's why Volkswagen is doing it. We can change now. We don't need to discuss technologies. We can change now and change the footprint. E-mobility technology becomes our lead technology, no doubt. For this purpose, we are regrouping our resources from 2019 this year to 2023, just 5 years from now. The Volkswagen brand alone, just this brand, will be investing 9 billion solely in e-mobility. Cars, technologies, plants and transformation, including our network transformation for our customers. Over the next 10 years, the brand will produce more than 10 million electric cars at our plants in Europe, in China and in the United States. More than 20 models are currently in the planning stage and many more ideas being sketched out. We are creating a family within the family. Our consistency and model diversity are unique in the automotive industry and will make a difference in the market. In 2020, a new generation of cars will appear on the roads with our ID. The first model on our fully electric ID family. The ID is based on our new Volkswagen platform, the Modular Electric Drive Toolkit. Nice name, we call it MEB to make it short. You see it behind me. With the MEB, we will leverage the opportunities of the electric drive system in an uncompromising way and transform the electric car from being niche to becoming a mass and democratized mobility offer. Thanks to the huge economies of scale, the MEB will allow us to produce electric vehicles that consumers can finally afford. And we will also offer a much wider choice of fully electric models than any other manufacturer in the world. However, infrastructure will be just as important as highly attractive and affordable cars. We are really sure about that. This is why our efforts stretch beyond the car. We will not end with vehicle development and vehicle production. As a partner and participant in Ionity here in Europe, we are working hard on the development of a pan-European fast charging infrastructure. Again, you see this behind me on the screen, along the major motorways to give long-distance mobility for electric drives. By end of 2020, just end of next year, 400 charging facilities will have been installed, each 120 kilometers along these motorways in Europe. They will be equipped with an average of 6 charging stations on each point. By 2025, we will also have installed more than 3,500 charging points at our own facilities in Volkswagen plants. It's a major transformation of our own fleet, our own people, of our own employees. Our 3,000 European dealers are also expanding their charging facilities in preparation for the upcoming change in technology. They want to be ready for our customers and for the technology that's thrillingly arriving in their dealerships so soon. And we are also investing increasingly in partnerships with companies from outside our own industry. People who have woken up to the fact that the major European player is putting down its cars and investing into electric mobility. This includes, for example, the partnership with the British supermarket chain Tesco, announced the end of last year. Over the next 3 years, 2,400 charging stations will be installed at 600 Tesco locations throughout the United Kingdom. A major transformation is starting because Volkswagen has laced the cars. We are a significant change agent for our industry. Our group company Elli, Electric Life, established in January this year, is a fresh startup in our own hands. It's developing a portfolio of power tariffs and wall boxes for our consumers and the companies or fleet operators, IT-based energy management and appropriate consultancy on installation services around the world. We really want to take the burden of thinking about installation from our customers and making that a convenient product to get serviced. Elli will supply eco-power from renewable sources, not only for the carbon neutral operation of our customers' electric vehicles themselves, but also for their homes and their offices. So a total pack of change, moving from the footprint that we have into a footprint that's green and renewable. As part of our Volkswagen We ecosystem, we have developed We Charge. We Charge is the first 360-degree charging service by Volkswagen. It offers one integrated, simple solution for public and home charging and is fully connected and synchronized with all Volkswagen electric vehicles, offering a smart routing, simple payment, simple access to charging at home or actually outside in the public charging arena. Right here in Berlin, we will soon be launching our WeShare all-electric drive vehicle demand service. This will be the first carbon-neutral car sharing system in Germany and one of the few first ones around the world. We've started now the beta system. It's in operation. We have happy customers already. End of second quarter, we go public. I think it will be a wow effect for the owners here in Berlin. The scheme will start with 1,500 e-Golf vehicles to be followed by 500 e-Ups in the early phase of next year. And then obviously, in the end of 2020, we will change to our ID family here in Berlin. Expansion to other cities in Germany and in Europe is firmly planned and scheduled. Our customers do have a general positive attitude towards e-mobility. One of the big mistakes we make when we think, where are these customers? They are positive, but they have concerns. They have concerns and they want information. They have justifiable requests for information on this technology. This is why we have launched a comprehensive information campaign on e-mobility, which we called the ID Hub. It's live already. You can tap on it and access it through our websites. It's available online. It's an online content platform that answers all conceivable questions concerning operating, owning, and actually getting in touch with electric cars, and aims to educate the customer with entertaining stories, references from customers who do own electric cars already, and informative facts. This ID Hub will morph over time with all of the questions we are gaining from our customers. We will build an even more intelligent platform of information. This is not about only transitioning a car, it's about actually making comfortable information, bringing comfortable information to our customers. With this type of communication, we are clearly breaking new ground. We have started our campaign more than 1 year before the market launch of our first ID model in 1 year time. We are not concerned solely with the introduction of a new product, but even more so with a new attitude towards Volkswagen, a new style of Volkswagen, and with the beginning of a new movement which we embark on with the first car of the ID family. The ID is a symbol of a new movement, of moving from where we are to a sustainable footprint as a company. Today, this future will become more tangible to you and to our customers. All the ID models in our ID family will be called ID. This is a real reveal, not a surprise. They will all be called ID. All cars from Volkswagen brand on the platform. ID stands for intelligent design, strong identity, and visionary technologies. It's not an abbreviation for a concrete technology. It's an idea, actually, that we will launch actually with this family of cars. You can see this as a franchise portfolio of cars in the portfolio of Volkswagen. It is actually a symbol of the future. It's not an abbreviation of a specific term, but it symbolizes that these vehicles will be a combination of zero emission, automated driving, intuitive operation, and personalized connectivity. The first model in our new ID family is the ID3. Now you ask the question, why is the first car called ID3, not ID1? Now that's a good question to ask. The internal world of Volkswagen, since basically our birth, classifies our world into different groups. The figure 3 stands for compact class. And the compact class is the home of Volkswagen. That's where we are strong. That's the class we fully understand. It's the class of Golf and Tiguan and other brilliant cars around the world. The 3 shows that we are starting from the middle of the range, the heart of Volkswagen where we sit today, an approach that we've always adopted successfully. Start with what you know best. Put your best foot forward. This figure indicates the possibilities of expansion both up the range, but clearly down the range as well. We will have a large number of projects in the pipeline. Some of them you do know as show cars, and we will be quickly filling numbers up and down, starting with up and then going down. With the ID, we'll be opening the 3rd major chapter of strategic importance in the history of the Volkswagen brand, and that's the key driver for the name 3. Following the Beetle, which has made individual mobility and mass mobility possible throughout the world, and left the footprint of the Volkswagen brand actually as a strong brand in Europe, in South America, in North America. That was actually opened the 1st chapter of our brand. The 2nd chapter was characterized by the Golf. It democratized high quality levels and advanced technology and has led to the brand that we know today. Top of volume, asking a price premium because we actually have worked our way into this position over many decades. The ID3 will be the first model based on our innovative MOB platform. In addition to many other advantages, this platform guarantees an efficient package and a large and flexible interior that's unusual in its class. From the outside, the ID3 will be as large as a Golf, so a size that you're all aware of. In the interior, it will be as spacious as a medium-sized car. It's a stunning effect when you sit in the ID3. It's a new world of space around you. It's very, very impressive when you actually first get to drive in this car. The ID3 is sufficiently compact for an urban environment like here in Berlin, and sufficiently mature to meet the demands of a family car as their main car. And that's the transition we're embarking on. Making an electric car the first car of the family, a first car to operate, basically being able to cover the needs of daily family lives. The ID3 is a perfect match for everyday life and every lifestyle. We will be offering the ID3 in 3 different battery sizes and ranges between 330 and 550 kilometers in accordance with WLTP. These data represent the current status of the project. Final homologation data will be available around September, when we introduce you to the car in Frankfurt. In everyday use, the range may be shorter depending on temperatures and individual driving behaviors. We all know that as we are individuals and we don't drive the same technology the same way. This is purely a matter of physics. This is why we will always be indicating an expected practical range in addition to the WLTP range. I think it's a sign of clarity to our customers, and we want to cover more than 80% of customer individual driving and travel habits in this data. This, for example, will result in an expected practical range of 300 to 420 kilometers for the 58 kilowatt battery, which most of our customers are likely to select. So if you're conscious, you can get to 420. If you drive fast and the environment is changing, it can go down to as little as 300. But that's a realistic range, and we don't want to sort of trick our customers in this case. The ID3 features a standard fast charging function for a maximum of 100 to 125 kilowatt DC charging. On this basis, even the ID3 with the smallest battery will take on energy needed for at least 260 kilometers of range during just a 30-minute coffee break. I think it's a good way of describing 30 minutes and how much length and how much distance will you be able to charge at that time using a 100 kilowatt DC charger. I don't want to reveal too much today. You can really look forward to an exciting world premiere of the ID3 production car at Frankfurt Motor Show. It's going to be the breaking show for this brand. It's not only about cars, it's about a new attitude, a new look, a fresh design of the brand. You will feel extremely, I think, welcomed. But there are 4 things I'd like to promise to you. Firstly, we will hand over the ID3 to our customers in a completely carbon neutral form. We are working with our suppliers and our partners to achieve this goal, the entire supply chain, and in the production of our battery cells by using green renewable energy. So our company is using that way in our suppliers. This will be continued at our own first electric plant in Zwickau is operated with green energy. Everything which we cannot achieve through our own efforts or the efforts of our supply base actually in creating this car will be compensated 1-for-1 for certified climate protection projects. And if the customer wants to, he can then keep the ID carbon neutral over the entire service life by using eco power supplied by Elli. This really means that we are moving from a negative footprint in production to a neutral footprint in production at home handover. I think a great sign for our customers. And it can be kept green and carbon neutral if the customer goes green actually in the life cycle of these cars. I think it's a fantastic step ahead. Secondly, the ID3 will be affordable and economically viable. The starting price will be, as promised, under 30,000 euros. The ID base model will be available from market introduction in summer next year, and we will produce this car in 2020. So no fooling. If somebody wants a naked strip car, he can get it, and the base range for 330 kilometers actually in the year 2020, as promised. In various countries, state subsidies can be deducted from this price. A total cost of ownership will be lower, i.e. approximately 30% lower service cost than in comparable combustion engine cars. So beyond the price, running and operating an electric car will produce much lower total cost of ownership actually compared to today's footprint. Thirdly, The ID3 will remain updatable and upgradable over its entire service life and will therefore improve continually. Every ID sold will be already equipped with a comprehensive set of systems and hardware which will be upgraded regularly either through our dealer network or over the air. As our software develops and improves, so does the ID of our owners. And last but not least, the ID3 will be a real fun vehicle. You can look forward to thrilling acceleration and a fantastic spacious interior and an intuitive operation. We've been testing the cars now the past weeks between Wolfsburg and Berlin. This is a 200 kilometer distance. It's a really stunning, unique experience to drive this new mobility system of Volkswagen. It is Volkswagen, but it's really Volkswagen of next generation. You will love it when you get your hands on those cars. Thanks to its new natural voice control system, the ID3 will respond to your wish and your command. But what I find especially charming is the fact that the ID3 will welcome its driver as he or she approaches the vehicle. The ID headlights or the eyes of the car of the ID3 have an animation system which smiles at you when you get to the car. We have given the ID3 a real face, a real strong character that radiates personality through and through. It is to become a companion of the family and the owner or the driver in everyday's life, and we are convinced that most of these ID3s will have personalized names. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about our pre-booking. From today, we are accepting registrations for an ID3 production slot. For this pre-booking scheme, we have configured a special first edition ID3 First, as you see behind me. We are offering this edition in 4 colors and 3 versions. All versions will feature large wheels and comprehensive equipment. So just to give you a few examples, the ID3 First will have convenience features just as including voice control and standard navigation system that's required obviously to find your way to the charging world. The ID3 First Plus comes with additional IQ lights, B-color exterior and interior, so it's look dominated. And the ID3 First Max, which will be packed with innovations. I find the augmented reality head-up display in the windscreen especially cool. It's a new dimension of navigated drive when all of the signals are actually on the road ahead of you. Very much, I think, an engaged and involving drive and change of the car. This car comes as well with a large panoramic roof to really feel even more spacious in the inside. All 3 versions will have a 58 kilowatt hours net battery and a range of up to 420 kilometers in accordance to WLTP. So that's the common denominator of these cars. Our customer research in the last 2 years has shown that the configuration of our ID3 First will probably represent the most popular versions of the ID3s. The choices that people have shown us the last 3 years they would pick on an electric drive car for the future. If you want to have an ID3 First vehicle, it's really quite simple. Just like everything in the case of ID3, you'll see more about that in Frankfurt. Configuring these cars will be so simple, more simple than ever before in the Volkswagen world. To start with, the Volkswagen only needs to fill, or the customer only needs to fill in a few information on the pre-booking website, again indicated behind me. Customers can also use the ID Hub as the information source and then actually move forward to the registration hub. For the registration deposit of 1,000 euros, any customer can secure a non-binding option for an early production slot at our electric plant in Zwickau. The first cars built will be customer cars going to customer hands. And that's the key difference of our operating model going forward. The registration deposit will not be credited to Volkswagen, but will be deposited on behalf of the customer. In Germany and Spain, for example, the Volkswagen Pay system will be introduced, an e-wallet which will be introduced with the pre-booking, which will then be successfully used actually for in-journey booking of services in later stages. This means that the customer always has retained ownership of their deposit. It's just basically taken away from the cash deposit into a blocked wallet to make sure that actually but it stays customer money. We want our ID3 First pre-bookers to feel that they're really part of a special community, and we'll be treating them accordingly. Following their registration, they will regularly receive updates and exclusive information on the ID3 and the ID First and e-mobility per se, as always, especially getting into invitations to exclusive events arranged by our importers. This will be possible with the ID3. For the special first edition with its larger battery pack and exclusive equipment, the target price will still be under 40,000 euros. The state subsidies for e-mobility in various markets are deducted. This amount can also be considerably lower and even more attractive. But we have another very interesting feature and highlight for ID3 First customers. They will receive the exclusive right to charge their vehicles for free during the first year of operation up to a maximum of 2,000 kilowatt hours in public charging. This will be available in all public charging stations connected by the Volkswagen charging app WeCharge, and also using our long-range Ionity rapid charging network. By the way, Ionity is operated by Green Power wherever technically possible. It makes sense to register for an ID3 fast. The ID3 First is limited to 30,000 cars, and just to preempt the question, no, we are not going to be more than 30,000 cars. 29 European markets are taking part in the pre-booking stream, and they will open the pre-booking today. And I'm pleased to be able to say that several markets have already had recorded considerable interest ahead of the pre-booking phase, specifically Norway, which is the trendsetter in Europe for e-mobility. Other key markets include Germany, Netherlands, France, the UK, and Austria. We're extremely pleased about the response that people are giving us from the ID, and they should not wait too long and hesitate too long to actually activate the pre-booking. So what will happen for the pre-bookers next? Just after the International Frankfurt Motor Show, we will be starting the ordering phase for pre-booking customers in most markets. With their registration number, which they actually receive on behalf when they actually place their 1,000 euros, these customers will then be able to place a binding order for one of the 3 exclusive ID3 First models with their local dealer of choice. In Germany, binding orders will become possible with the new dealer contract being in place in April 2020. Up to that point, customers will be able to cancel the registration at any time without charge, obviously. Production start of these cars will be the end of this year as planned, and the first cars produced will be reserved for the pre-bookers. For the coming years, we actually intend to deliver more than 100,000 ID3s each year. So it's now time to officially launch the pre-booking phase. Ladies and gentlemen, the ID3. Now you can.
Non dá. Não consigo.
So, isn't that a stunning foil car? Beautiful even as a disguised shape. It's the most exciting foil car I've ever seen in my life. Representing this new Volkswagen movement, our ID3. How do you like it? I know you had it, you hold in cameras, you can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are really sort of excited as a total team today, including our dealers, to really start this new wave of mobility for the Volkswagen brand. I don't want to go through the highlights once again.
Foda-se, que puta de merda que é sempre aqui.
Launch will be treated differently to any launch we've ever had before. And so does the media campaign for this ID3 car. I move aside a bit. You go, easy.
Este gajo só tem 50 e não tem esta merda a andar. Que filha da puta.
Dear friends, you might know that Volkswagen is a proud sponsor of the German National Football Association, and this association holds a key event in the capital of Germany, Berlin, in this place. Because a few weeks from now, on May 25th, we will hold the cup final in the city, in the Olympia Stadium, which has become the finale for the football season, with whole Germany watching, inviting the world to join and celebrate football as its best, with us being proud sponsors. And the team has used and leveraged this opportunity to electrify Berlin on May 25th. Pre-introducing
Ainda não abriram a pré-reserva,
the ID family and the pre-booking
temos que
will
esperar.
break on May 25th here
Eu estou à
in
espera
Berlin,
que eles abram.
and actually successively flow through Europe for what we
Está a
believe
ser a
a
apresentação.
groundbreaking campaign to show that Volkswagen
Só
is
que aqui
moving,
no site não tem
Volkswagen
nada.
is changing, and Volkswagen has a long-term idea to change the mobility footprint for all of us. So I'd like to introduce you not only to the ID3 model car, but I'd like to introduce you to the new campaign ahead of the time on May 25th. Enjoy the new life of the ID family.
This is for all of us. All, as in everyone. The many. The millions. It's time for a power shift. It's time to plug in. It's time for electric cars for the people. Electric mobility from Volkswagen. Cars that speak to you, learn from you, and connect you to the world.
Não.
Cars that are as alive as you are. Cars that can reach new milestones.
Não sei.
For everyone, in every shape and size. By harnessing power for the few, one can make a change. But by harnessing power for the many, we can change the world. ID. Volkswagen. Just electric. Start electric. Search Volkswagen ID.
So, I hope you will enjoy this as much as we do. It's a
No wonder
quite an
já dá para
experience
fazer,
for us
aqui não
as a brand to start this new life with our customers, with our dealers, with our team, with our employees in the coming years and months. What you see here is just a pre-step to what you can expect from us in Frankfurt this year on the International Motor Show. Just by the way, if you live in Berlin, this installation will stay here for the next month until end of June, so people can take a look and actually have a look at the pre-bookable ID3 first edition.
Mark, thank you, Jürgen, for the quick introduction. We're happy to take your questions now. For that, please stand up because it's a little bit dark and hard to see here from the stage. And then somebody will come with a mic so that everybody can hear your questions. So, first question. Yeah, we have it here.
Fucking Portugal che è sempre veramente tutto superiore.
Could you give us some information about the warranty conditions according to the battery for the pre-booking process? And the second question, all the values you announced today, the energy amount, do you mean this is a net or gross value? Thank you.
Let me just start with the end. It's net values, not gross values. Sorry, so what was the first question?
Warranty.
Warranty. Warranty is regulated clearly. It's an 8-year warranty with up to 160,000 kilometers with a minimum guarantee of 70%, which in real practice we've seen we will exceed by far. But we're going to give a minimum as a guarantee. 8 years, 160,000 kilometers.
You gave a lot of details about the battery, about the range, but nothing about the power of the engine. Can you tell us something about this? And will be only one rear engine, or will the top version will have also one more engine in the front? And second, there are some rumors that cobalt resources are not enough for the next years, and it seems that the problem is for the next 2-3 years. And you said that you will produce more than 100,000 in the next year. Do you secure these cobalt resources? And the last question is, the next Golf 8, which will be shown at the end of the year, will be the last Golf? Thank you.
Well, let me get start with the end. Clearly not. Golf is the heart of our company, will remain heart of the company, so there's no plan to stop with 8. 8 is going to be a brilliant Golf. You will see when we show the car. Let me start with some of the questions. Cobalt, I think a good question. I think you've read that we are committed to securing safe and actually regulated supply for cobalt, because it's not only about having the volume, but having it in the right way. So we are engaged with partners that can secure work ethics and work environments that we want to see as suppliers. We have warranted supply for the coming years, and as the chemistry mix in our batteries will change, we will get less and less dependent on cobalt actually being part of our battery system. So it's a sort of an issue that we feel sort of strong about. We want to actually have secured and actually ethically correct produced cobalt in the beginning, but with time cobalt will become less important in our battery chemistry. Oh, engine. All of the rest, I know that you have tons of questions on the car, will be revealed in Frankfurt Motor Show. So we will talk about technical details, specification at Frankfurt. Today is just the spiff for starting basically the journey with us. In a few months in Frankfurt, we'll tell you all about the details and technology and power ranges.
Good. Next question we have here, and then
I have 2 questions. So my first question is, you mentioned that you will deliver 100,000 ID3 in next year. When would it be at earliest? And my second question is, I'd like to know your launch plan outside Europe, especially in US, China, and Japan.
Okay. I think there's just one thing I need to correct. I've said that actually on a running year we'll be producing 100,000 plus IDs, not in the next year 2020. So the production will be below 100,000 in the year 2020. But we will have a second car going online as a production car in the coming year as well. So there will be a good supply for ID3 models and the next car coming. Again, all of that gets introduced to you at Frankfurt Motor Show. So we are building capacity. We are ramping up the plant. The plant has a capacity of 300,000 cars. And we are obviously keen to fill capacity as soon as possible with ID3 and other members of the ID family.
Knüpfer is my name, from All Electronics. Other companies are expecting big developments with fuel cells. You are committed to electrical cars. Don't you think that you miss a very important market?
Not at all. We are I think, very transparent on this technology. We do believe that fuel cell has a role to play for the future, but it won't help in the next decade. We want to make a big step ahead in reducing our CO2 footprint now. We can't wait until fuel cell becomes ready to get deployed and scaled, and the fuel cell energy system is actually ready to get launched. Our mission is to reduce the CO2 footprint of our brand and our industry fast and sustainable, and our way forward is electric mobility. It does not include that one day Volkswagen brand and group will get engaged with fuel cells. It's just not for now. That's why we've gone our route, and this is our mission in the coming years.
One question more, please. Do you plan to cooperate with other companies with your modular electric powertrain?
It is public since Geneva that we are offering the platform to other companies. We've started to discuss with startup companies, those small and limited production runs, which can't afford the technology if they have to develop that. That actually is the easy part of the job. But we've opened the platform to other volume manufacturers. We have discussions, but they are far from being closed. But yes, Volkswagen is committed to opening the platform system to other manufacturers to reach scale for everybody and everybody's sake as soon as possible.
Vai chamar Id3.
So we have the next question here, and then in the back, I think it's Bill Boston, right?
Foda-se, estes gajos são desesperantes. Puta que pariu.
Adrian
Testa esta
Mitra, my
merda.
name.
Estou aqui a ver as notas da faculdade quando saiu.
Solve the problem with the weight. As I see, the batteries are quite big, looking at today's standards, and the weight of the battery is very important. So how did you manage to solve the problem with the weight on this car? Thank you.
Okay, it's a very good question. Again, all details on weight and other factors of the car will be revealed and discussed in Frankfurt. It is a balance. The battery weighs a certain amount of kilograms. You can't change the battery cell per se, which is a big part of vehicle weight. So it's a balanced approach. Offer the right size of the car, offer the right package of the car to have a full family operating car, and then actually basically doing that in a weight balance that actually still makes sense for our owners. But all details on weights, please, I have to set on pause until we resume in Frankfurt. How are you doing?
We have, I think, first...
Oh, no, he has been raising hands for minutes.
Okay, then please.
Dankeschön. My question is about the dealer network. Is any change in the dealer network? They are selected, or every dealer can sell this ID3? And the second question is, you mentioned about the simplified sales systems through the digital transformations.
I think it's a very straightforward answer. In contrast to many other players in our industry, we are convinced that dealers help. And they're a necessary part for our transformation. And they're one of the key partners to scale our operation going forward. So we've discussed with our dealers our, we call future sales model and future sales system. The European dealers have basically subscribed to a new sales contract with us. And all of the dealers who have subscribed will be able to sell ID. It becomes a franchise within the Volkswagen franchise. New rules overall, not only for the ID, and mainly in the way we operate with each other. The system of Volkswagen in distribution has understood that we need to change the parameter, how do we treat the customer. We can't allow too many process breakpoints between us and the dealers, so we have to integrate as one. And you see this today. The pre-booking is a great example of this new world of Volkswagen in distribution. Pre-booking platform is central, so operated by us and our team, but each pre-booking scheme includes mandatory a dealer of choice. So we're not taking it away from our dealers, we're including our dealers as part of the value stream. This technology will pose questions, and people want to talk to people, not only to platforms. And dealers have a huge role to play of giving trust and comfort to our customers and adopting the ID technology. So we are marching hand in hand with our dealers. But we've well understood that retailing is changing. It has changed in every industry. It will change in ours. And we have to combine forces and think as one to really be sustainable for the future. But we are embarking. Today especially a start of this new movement as well.
Hi, Mr. Stockman.
Vai ter carregamentos grátis durante ano.
I have a couple of questions. One, you have a target of
Quantos carregamentos quaisquer?
of 22 million electric vehicles, I think by 2025, correct me if I'm wrong. Today, battery electric and plug-in hybrids make up 2.5% of the European market, and you're talking about up to 100,000 vehicles to produce 100,000 vehicles or under 100,000 in 2020 and then from 2021. So how are you going to get from very low base and niche demand to 22 million vehicles? Or, is it just a hobby? Are you going to make them for Volkswagen employees? Second question is about, getting the word out. What's your strategy for advertising? Who are you targeting? What's your target group? In the video you showed there, this very millennial focused. Is that who you see as your customer going forward? And where will you advertise? Is there going to be a conventional TV campaign? When does that start? When are we going to see the ads? Or is this going to be largely social media based? And the last question, I wanted to re-ask the question that a colleague asked before about availability outside of Europe. When does it get started in China, especially, and how important is China in your strategy, your marketing strategy?
A lot of questions.
Yeah. So
let me start with a simple one. Who is target group for our campaign? And the campaign that I showed to you starts to break on May 25th. Many of you should have received in their Facebook accounts conversation and targeted conversation on ID in the past weeks. So the initial target group that we have is early adopters. The innovators are already out there driving e-cars. We are actually targeting now in the early phase this early adopter group, people who are knowledgeable, people who are willing to move, and they need comfort level to say, is this brand trustable? What's the plan? What's the core idea? So that's the core target group, let's say, for the first year or year and a half for our communication. But that does not exclude that we go broadcast, mass, because this is about positioning Volkswagen into a new era and a new scheme. So the campaign behind me will be aired on TV to a much bigger audience than just the targeted sort of initial buyers group that we have. Looking at the relevance of the cars, how do we get there? It's what I've done and explained to you today. We are offering stunningly sexy cars that are easy to operate, affordable to own, cars that have long range, and we are working on the environment of the cars with the charging infrastructure, charging supply to make ownership of a car as simple as possible going forward. That's going to be breaking all of the barriers down as much as we can, but we see now actually a huge leverage in the market with other suppliers that will help us to break down these barriers for electric mobility. We're changing our platform with our dealers. All of our dealers are out there investing into electric mobility now, of getting ready for this move. And the seriousness of this move shows that a large part of our investment is going electric. We're not playing. We haven't said that, yes, we will do all technologies and keep open to everything. That's not the case with Volkswagen. We go electric. And if Volkswagen goes something, we will move things. It's as simple as that. We are a major player in this industry. If we move, a lot of people will follow us. We see this already in the first weeks. So it will be about great products, great ownership experience, I think affordable prices, and again, sort of real life that goes electric and ignites with people. Without great cars, you won't have success, and we will have them quite very, very clearly. Now, on numbers, that's important. I know there have been many numbers put out there. To be clear on the next step, in the next year, we will be sort of aiming at a total number of electric cars clearly beyond 100,000, and that's including plug-in hybrids and electric cars, which is e-up, e-Golf in the first half, then ID Id3 in Europe. That's the European number. That's the number that we have to understand. At the same time, we are launching electric cars, battery electric cars in China, and there will be another big chunk of cars going to the Chinese market for the Chinese supply. And very soon after our production start of the ID in Europe, we will see the first production start of Chinese IDs going into the plant in Chinese plants. All of the cars localized. So China will be rapidly outpacing Europe at any pace that you can imagine. So the Chinese battery electric demand for cars will exceed the European one clearly. And then actually, as a third step, we go to the United States and actually open our first facility with our ID family in the United States. More about that so then from Scott Keogh and his team when we get closer to actually revealing that. But ID will be a global phenomenon, a global family of cars. And the number that we've always put out is Volkswagen brand on the year 2025, at least 1 million cars sold. That's the aim. Probably and likely more than that, but that's the minimum number of pure electric cars sold under the logo of ID by 2025. So these are the numbers. I know they can be irritating.
Thanks. There's a few more hands up there in the back.
Thank you.
Start here and then go back.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. My name is Klaus Ludwig. I'm from Mobile Geeks, from Germany here. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to you for the interesting information about the ID, as well as the ability that I have the chance to be here today. So it's an honor for me. And the first question is, you've mentioned that the first edition of the ID3 will be coming with